It is Wednesday, the 22nd of December, 2021. I am James. You are you. We are here on the information superhighway known as the internet, live on Twitch for another breathtaking, thrill-seeking, heart-pounding, and Yuletide-filled edition of the show that won't go away. Of course, we're talking about At Home with James. And when I say the show won't go away, here's the thing. As life began to return to some semblance of normalcy, I started thinking to myself, well, what's going to happen in the new year? What's going to happen with this show? And then our old pal COVID came creeping back into our lives. And that may have been the best thing that could have ever happened in this show, because once COVID numbers go up, so do the viewers of this program. Now, I don't know what that means. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I think on some level, it's great to know that people look for some type of reassurance or warmth from this program, or you are at such a low point that you have no other choice than to resort to this show. This show is your last resort, much like the Papa Roaches of the world. Welcome to tonight's program. It is the middle of the week, hump day, as they say in the office world. What do we have in store for you tonight? What do we have on tap? It is the third installment of a trivia showdown between Andy Assaf and Dave Kaufman. Back in October, it was the ultimate Halloween trivia showdown. Andy took the top prize. Weeks later in November, it was a general ultimate trivia showdown in which Dave tied the score by taking top prize. And tonight, it's the ultimate top prize. It's a rubber match in tonight's ultimate holiday trivia showdown. 5 categories, 15 questions, only one winner will prevail. And there is something very, very important on the line. More on that later on. Who else is here? The one and only Vance Gillis. This guy's harder to book on this show than Bigfoot or the Scorpion King. But he's here tonight because if there's one thing I can count on to get Mr. Gillis on the show, it's talking about the holidays. Because Dimitri Kirez, one of our production directors, he referred to me a couple weeks ago as the original Prince of Christmas, what some call the original POC. Now, I don't care for that nickname. I don't care for it. But if there was another original, it would be Vance Gillis, or as we call him around these parts, Mr. Gillis. He's going to be here before the trivia contest takes place to discuss, of course, the holidays. Because when you're a guy like me, you got a lot of these youngsters. They come on here. There's a lot of pretenders, but there's very few contenders who can really get into the nitty-gritty of the Christmas season. Now, this past Monday, it was the sweet. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone when he finds out I made my family disappear. Ah! He doesn't even make that noise once. He's jumping on the bed. He's eating popcorn, eating ice cream sundaes. That's how I feel right now. This past Monday was sweets and treats. But before the panel began, I talked about how I was going for my second COVID test in the span of a week. Happy to report I am now 2 for 2 on negatives, which means I'm available to come over this holiday season. I might not slip down the chimney, but I might slip in somewhere. This is what's happening to me. The holiday season has turned me into a Christmas creeper. If you're out there and you're watching this and thinking, what did I just get myself into? Don't worry, I'm ending the intro right now. I'm ending it right now, and I'm going to welcome our very first guest. Some people call him Vance. Some people call him the Professor. I call him Mr. Gillis. Vance, welcome to tonight's program. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? The Professor. I had no idea that people call me that.
I tell you what, I pulled it right out of my rear end right here, right now, because I said some people call him Vance, and in that moment, I thought I got to come up with another thing that some people call him. But I'm good. Tonight, I call you Mr. Gillis. Slip some sable under the tree for me. I've been in awful good. I can't keep it in. I'm having a great time. This is the most festive I've felt in weeks. Vance, you're back on the show. I couldn't be happier. How's it going?
Good, good. Congrats on your negative COVID result.
Well, you had a scare last week at the same time I had a scare. We both went and got tested within, I believe, 24 hours of each other. We're as clean as a whistle.
Yeah. Still sick though. Still a little bit sick.
As am I. I am still. Now, let's go through our symptoms here. Now, of course, for people who don't know, Vance is coming to us live from Nova Scotia. I don't even know if that's a Nova Scotia accent. What time is it there? Is it 8:12 right now?
No, it's 10:12 right now.
Oh, we're up late with Mr. Gillis.
We're up late.
Now, Vance, what symptoms are you dealing with right now?
Just a cough. I can't get rid of this cough. It's been since, so we saw each other last Sunday. So it's been what, 9 days?
I would say even, it was I think a week ago tomorrow. We were at Montreal Improv, not to be confused with Montreal Improv. We saw each other for about 30 minutes. I hosted a show and we were both sick as a dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Still just dealing with a cough. That's all it is.
Now you got the runny nose. You got the Christmas runs.
No. Do you?
I still got a runny nose. Yeah. I'm congested. I'm hacking up loogies. This is what tonight's all about. I love it.
You're in a real festive mood tonight. Huh?
I'm going to tell you something. I really haven't seen people in days, and I'm not someone who really has a hard time with my solitude because for the folks out there watching, I'm constantly alone. But it's so nice to see such a handsome cast tonight. Vance, we're going to talk about the holidays.
Yeah. I mean, that's all that we talk about, really. You and I
consider yourself. Yeah, because this is what we do. A couple guys like us. Now, I mentioned off the top, would you consider yourself an original Prince of Christmas, an original POC?
I would not use that term, but I would consider.
I don't either. Dimitri uses it. I don't use it.
Dimitri's fault, really. Yeah.
Yeah. And just to be clear, it's Prince of Christmas.
Prince of Christmas.
Right. There can be many acronyms that feature. They're the same, right? There was the World Wildlife Fund, and then there was the World Wrestling Federation, right? This is just another acronym. Vance, I would consider you a Prince of Christmas.
I would say that if you are 1A, I'm probably 1B. If toot my own horn.
Well, I'm happy to share that. I want to talk about a variety of things because for the past few weeks we've been talking about foods, movies, specials, music, the whole nine yards. Vance, what are your essentials around the holiday season when it comes to movies?
Movies. I don't know if I have essentials anymore. I just sort of watch whatever's on. It used to be that I would go for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, family thing. That started in the 90s. My mom taped the show off of TV and missed huge chunks of it. So for the first, like 10 or so viewings of the movie, I was missing big chunks of the movie that I had never seen.
So what was happening? The channel was just getting switched, or it was just started recording halfway through?
No, this is the thing of taping things off of television on VCRs back in the day, where my mom would try to miss the commercials and she'd forget to press record. So coming back from commercial, we'd miss whatever the first few scenes are. So the copy that we had, I'm pretty sure it was only like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that, but the movie's actually quite a bit longer. So that would be, I would say, my number one go-to for sure is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, even though I don't fully enjoy it at this point.
I agree. I also don't really fully enjoy that movie. And I almost wonder if it's because people in our age group, I don't think we're the exact right age to have grown up with it.
No.
I think our age group's essential Christmas movie might be Home Alone. I think people like 85 and on might be Home Alone kids.
Yeah, Home Alone was actually the first movie I ever saw in theaters.
There you go.
When I was a kid.
And how do you feel about Home Alone 2? Because I've had this discussion with a bunch of people. They don't like it because it is essentially a shot for shot same movie as the first one, but I still like it.
It's preposterous, right? That especially what are their names? Harry and Marv are going to go to New York. Yeah. And then there's going to be this house. Look, I still enjoy it. I think it's a great movie, and I love watching it, and I stop whenever it's on. and check it out, is actually on earlier tonight. So that was
Yeah.
my Home Alone 2 for the year. I watched that tonight. But yeah, I mean, it's the same.
It is a carbon copy, same movie. And I don't know, is there any other movies that have been the sequel has been done like that?
Yes, Austin Powers.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
It's the exact same jokes. It's not even that the plot's the same. It's the jokes are the exact same.
But I guess here's the question. If you were to do Home Alone 2, if you're to reimagine what that sequel looks like, what do you even do? Because there has to be some face off with Harry and Marv again. I think that's a gimme. Yeah. But what do you do with a sequel like Home Alone? Because they got to be Home Alone. Is it something with the mom maybe? But then you need Kevin McAllister.
I think. I mean, I don't think that you could do a sequel better than what they did.
Yeah.
Even though it was kind of hokey, it was the exact same plot. But I think if you had to do a sequel, you got to keep it in Chicago. You got to keep it where they were and keep it in that same house.
Yeah.
And if you need Harry and Marv, I don't know. Maybe it's a different kid this time, or maybe it's a different family. You do have to move on from Kevin McAllister. I don't know.
Well, the thing about Home Alone 2 is it features a great cameo from around these parts. We still call him the Donald. We still call him the Donald. There's a Donald Trump cameo, which I think has been scrubbed from certain telecasts.
Yes, it has. Yeah. Which is maybe an overreaction, but I get it. Look, I get it.
The jury's still out on him.
What's that?
The jury's still out on the Donald.
Yeah, I mean, look, give it a couple years.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll all be, clamoring for them to add it back in. What I would love to see is a Home Alone that's just Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
And people are, invading the White House. And he's got
there's the moment at the beginning is, I made my family disappear. They're gone. I made him. He'll be like, Melania and Barron, you're fired. You're fine. I made my family disappear. Donald Jr.
Why does your Donald Trump sound like that?
Here's the thing. There was a wave of great Trump impersonations, right?
Yeah.
I thought you have to go the other way now. Can you make it enough to the point that people go, oh, he's doing a Donald Trump, but it's a preposterous impersonation.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2 with Donald Trump as the main protagonist.
Yeah, and he's home alone. And
it's all the senators, they're trying to get him out of office. So like the Harry and Marv are some of like his biggest detractors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The liberal bandits.
Yeah. And then instead of pizza, he just gets like hundreds of McNuggets.
Yeah.
Hundreds of McNuggets and Diet Coke. And he's like, Melania, I'm up late. I'm eating rubbish and watching movies. You better come out and stop me. And instead of how Kevin like steals Buzz's money, he like steals all the money from the treasurer.
Yeah, that's great. Man,
I'm stealing the country's money. You better come out and pound me.
Yeah, that's great. And that scene in the first movie where Kevin pretends that there's a party at the house.
Yeah.
So he's got like a train set and he's got all these cutouts and stuff. I would love to see Donald pulling the ropes and dancing around.
Yeah.
Rocking
there you go. So we've got a project. This will be a long form narrative improv show coming to Montreal Improv in 2022.
Yeah, that sounds great. Or The Fringe.
Sounds like this would win Spirit of the Fringe, I think. Now, Vance, do you have any music essentials, the must listen tos?
I mean, and we've talked about this, but I think the Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack,
the Vince Guaraldi trio, that soundtrack, it's you need it.
Yeah,
you need it.
You need it. I also love the Phil Spector album,
and we love him on this show.
Yeah, which you have on vinyl. You got on vinyl, no?
Yeah, I have accumulated with the help of Jason Grimmer, who's also a friend of the show, just an incredible collection of Christmas vinyls. So the Phil Spector, the Gene Autry, Bing Crosby, I've got just a giant collection over here that I'll be listening to exclusively alone this holiday season. But I'm excited to announce that dropping on Christmas Eve, it's gonna be a very Donald Trump Christmas album where he does all of the great Christmas songs.
Yeah, it's great. Look, these are all great ideas.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure that you write these all down.
Which of all the Christmas classics, which do you think Donald would do the best job at?
Oh, maybe Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. You gotta do a verse of that, I think, right now on your show.
Yeah, so this is a song that we talked about this a couple nights ago. People hate this song. This is oftentimes in articles, whether it's on BuzzFeed or whatever trash websites. This is listed as one of, if not the worst Christmas songs.
Yeah, a lazy cash in.
He did everything on his own. He recorded it. He played all the instruments.
Yeah,
the time is up. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. It's getting worse. My impersonation is getting worse as this episode chugs along.
It's turning into Wally Darker.
Yeah, it's turning into one of my famous characters, Wally Diaper. I got to work on it because there's a hint of Truman Capote in there. You're fired. Oh, it's me. Anyways, do you have any other holiday music essentials, Vance?
Music? No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Those are really, I stick to the ones that I really like. You are a fan of Michael Bublé's Christmas.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I've weaned off of it over the years just because it's like, well, if I'm gonna listen to the crooners, I'll listen to the originals. I don't dislike Bublé in the same way that I don't dislike kind of Harry Connick Jr. Bublé before Bublé.
Right. I get it. I heard Bublé on the radio earlier today doing a cover, and I couldn't quite place what the song was, but I was like, oh, this is pretty good. But it turned out doing a slowed down ballad rendition of All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
It's not bad. I really don't dislike it.
It was all right. Right.
I don't want to loop back too hard to Home Alone 2, but that scene when Kevin first lands in New York and he's having a fun day. I was watching that movie last night and I thought, gosh, what Christmas song is the backing track to this? And it's this Darlene Love song, All Alone on Christmas. And I was like, how old is this song? I think she recorded it for that movie.
She did.
Great song.
Band. She recorded Bruce Springsteen's band. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's on a Little Steven's Underground Christmas A-Go-Go album that features, I think it's like a cartoon Santa on a monster truck and he's shredded. It was like, this is might be the worst album cover I've ever seen in my effing life.
Yeah, I've seen it and I know what you're talking about. It is worth checking out just to see. And also the music video is worth seeing if you've never seen the music video, because it has Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister running around in it.
Yeah, why that gives me essential viewing. We got coming in from the chat right now. Look, I'm not good at these usernames here. I think this is pronounced Brelamy. Quote, despite being a veritable Grinch of Christmas, I truly believe that All I Want for Christmas by Mariah is the real deal. I wasn't even know where it was up for debate.
I mean, it is. It just hit #1 on the Billboard charts for, after having been out for 30 years.
Yeah.
It's undeniable.
Yeah, it is undeniable. Vance, again, you're coming to us from Nova Scotia. Is there any holiday treats that are specific to Nova Scotia that people around here, us Quebecers, might not know about?
Yes, there is something called chicken bones.
Mm-hmm. Do you know now, you were talking about this in the chat during the Sweets and Treats last Monday. Tell us about chicken bones.
So chicken bones, I think, are outside of Atlantic Canada totally unpalatable for people. They are a pink hard candy, and the candy tastes like cinnamon hearts that you might get Valentine's, but the inside of the candy is chocolate. So it's cinnamon hearts with chocolate, and a lot of people just think it's disgusting, but it's a tradition in Nova Scotia. There's two candy factories that make them in Nova Scotia, and it's something that people seek out and look for here. I don't know that I would necessarily recommend them,
Yeah.
but it's a must. You have to have them. We have
Yeah,
them
and there's
here.
a lot of those holiday treats that I don't even love, but it's like, well, it's a holidays. I'm gonna eat these, and I don't need to. Like, look, I love fruitcake, but if I miss it one year, it's not the end of the world. But
Yeah.
I do want to eat it, but it's not. I'm not gonna end it all if I don't have a little piece of fruitcake in December.
But you're not going to say no if someone offers it
Oh
to you.
no, I'll say yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, we had my grandmother, who's 91, came and is staying with us now, and she brought 3 different fruitcakes with her,
Yeah.
including one which is technically a pudding, and it's steamed. It's steamed for like 2
Ooh.
hours, and it's like a spongy. Think of it as the spongy fruitcake
Mm-hmm.
meets a carrot cake.
Yep.
And it's pretty good. I mean, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be sore about it, but
Yeah.
that's definitely something I would say that's specific to this area of Canada.
Now, what are you guys going to be eating for Christmas din din?
We'll have turkey,
Yeah.
which again, that's a traditional thing that everyone does. None
Yeah.
of us like turkey. We would all prefer
Yeah.
chicken or something else.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Now,
turkey
does
is
anyone say
overrated.
at the dinner table, what if we did chicken next year?
Yeah, we always do. And then we never do.
Yeah.
My family is very much traditional about Christmas stuff, especially the things that we eat.
Yeah.
So we'll have turkey, we'll have rutabaga or turnip.
Yeah.
We call it turnip, but
Yep.
Rutabaga, we'll have sweet potato, we'll have mashed potatoes. A new thing that has come in, my dad gardens, and so he grows food.
Yep.
And he saves his string beans, so we'll have string beans with our dinner as well.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much it.
Look, I'll tell you what, I don't know what I'm going to be eating for dinner. I was Googling earlier Montreal pre-made Christmas dinners. So that's where I'm at. Vance, we're about to do this trivia contest. I want to ask you a question. Would you be interested in sticking around to provide in-depth analysis as the night goes on?
I don't know if I can commit to the in-depth, but I'm happy to stick around, and I'll poke my nose in if you need to.
I love this. Now, before we get into it, I want to ask you, who do you think's going to take this one? You've got Dave and Andy, who are not, as far as I'm concerned, they're not really princes of Christmas.
Sure. And I think this is interesting that you put these two guys, this is their tiebreaker, is a Christmas quiz. Right now, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I feel like it really is 50-50, not to cop out, but I'm excited to see who's going to come out on top. What is the prize going to be? I'm just curious.
Well, I know that they individually have money on the line, but there's something big at stake. And they don't know this yet, but there's something big at stake.
Okay. Well, I'm thrilled to be here, but I'm also nervous for both guys.
I'm also nervous. Luckily, you and I are not competing. I don't know how we would do it. We'd probably blow them out of the water, but let's get this show on the road. Vance, and to everyone watching right now on Twitch, and thank you so much for doing so. We appreciate you spending your holiday week with us. Let's welcome Dave Kaufman and Andy Assaf to the show.
Hey, James,
well,
thanks for
I
having
appreciate
us.
you cutting that off early so this episode does not get scrubbed for copyright infringement. Of course, that's a WWE superstar John Cena's theme song. Andy, you're clearly coming into this feeling muscular, in shape, festive, very confident. How do you feel tonight?
Well, James, first of all, thanks for having me, and thanks for hosting this this battle of wits. As you know, I've been doing Drunk Christmas, so I'm currently imbibing, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good about tonight's odds. And Dave, you should be scared.
All right, well, Dave, let's go to you. You've got a fun and festive Zoom filter on. You look like a reindeer. You have also got a great background. It is the aforementioned cover of Little Steven's Underground Christmas A Go-Go, which, look, do not judge this album by the cover. I looked at the track list. It's quite good. Dave, how are you feeling tonight, and how do you respond to Andy?
I'm feeling pretty good. I am a little nervous, more about Andy's health than about the competition itself.
Well, we're all a little nervous about that.
Yeah, but I'm in the mood for a solid bout of intellectual prowess, and I'm hoping things go to the winner takes all. I'm hoping it's a fair fight.
All right. Well, Dave, you won our previous showdown. Andy, you won the first one. Vance, let's quickly go to you. How did you like those two answers off the top based on the energy that both of the competitors are exuding right now?
Really good. Really good. I think that the backgrounds are on point. I like that Andy's got his hat and Dave's got his little thing. I do think the John Cena though is not very festive. So
yeah,
if I had to call it right now, it would probably go in Dave's favor, but Andy's still got plenty of room to make that up, I think.
Well, there you go. And we're going to be checking in with Vance all night long as this goes on. Guys, are you ready for your first question as part of the first category?
Wait. Before we get into it, James, can we just go over, because Dave and I have a bet, and I want to get it in writing before the competition starts, so he doesn't. He doesn't in virtual verbal writing here, because I don't want him to squirm out of it, like he tried to last time.
Well, go on.
So sure, Dave, is our bet still on?
Well, just remind me of the parameters of the bet.
I think if I remember correctly, at the end of the last competition, I bet you $20 cash. I think it was $25 cash.
You're upping it.
Yeah, I'm upping it to 25.
Okay. You want to commit to the 25 verbally?
Are we gonna? I think we should put some skin in the game here.
Okay, and cash. We're talking
That's
cash.
very different than the way you usually use that term, Andy.
Hard cash.
Cold hard cash.
Skin in the game.
Yeah, all right, I'll do it.
Wow,
all right,
Vance, what do you think about
Vance,
this?
You're here.
The stakes have been raised.
You're the independent observer here.
$25 is a lot of money, guys.
Should we get Vance to be the escrow for our bet?
Yeah, I think we should. Vance, can you forward us the account in which we should transfer our $25?
Yes, you should send it to me.
All right, there we go. It's confirmed. So again, as we've done in previous iterations of this showdown, the questions feature multiple choice answers. The choices are at a maximum of 3 when you want to lock in your answer. If it is 1, of course, you will put up 1 finger. If it's 2, it will be 2 fingers. And of course, 3 indicates 3 fingers. Now, as past editions of these contests have gone on, Dave has been, it's been speculated that he's been copying Andy's answer, which has led us to institute a soft rule that you cover your fingers before you reveal the answers. And that will be maintained tonight. Guys, you ready for your first question as part of the first category?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's let her rip. This is the ultimate Christmas trivia showdown. The first category that features 3 questions is all about Christmas traditions. These questions and the answers, the correct ones, of course, are worth 10 points. Your first question is, which country was the first to introduce the use of the Christmas tree? Is it 1, Finland, 2, Germany, or 3, Switzerland? 1, Finland, 2, Germany, or 3, Switzerland?
Oh, Dave, you must be sweating right now.
Am I?
Yeah, he doesn't have a single clue.
You must be sweating booze.
Yeah.
Vance, what do you think about a line like that?
Wow, it's getting hot in here, huh?
And it's only the first question. Don't forget, we're going to be checking it with Vance all night long. We have our answers locked in. Let's reveal the answers.
Oh,
now,
come
Dave,
on.
Okay, so you have
early to
both
be
answered
doing this.
1, Finland, and you are both incorrect. The correct answer is Germany, the first country to introduce the Christmas tree.
This was a fake out for you, Dave, because now I know you're copying me.
I knew it.
So I might actually change how I lock in my answers.
Oh, well, I don't know how you're going to do that, but let's move on to question number 2. Similarly, in the vein of the last question, which country created eggnog? So these questions are all about Christmas tradition. The possible answers are 1, Scotland, 2, Ireland, or 3, England. Which country created eggnog? Scotland, Ireland, or England? Andy looks like he's got it locked in, or he's brandishing a gun. Let's reveal those answers.
No.
You have both, again,
Dave,
you have both answered one
can't
Scotland.
keep getting away with this.
You're copying me at this
No,
point.
Dave.
You were blocking it with a sweater. How would I know?
Well, you're both incorrect. The correct answer is England. So you had
That was
a
my
maximum
original
of
answer.
20
I
points
knew
to
it.
win here. You've won no points. The third and final question in the Christmas tradition category. Which country is the largest exporter of Christmas trees? The answers are 1, Canada, 2, Denmark, or 3, the United States of America. Which country is the largest exporter of Christmas trees? Canada, Denmark, or the United States? They're both locked in. We can see that no one can see through Dave's hand or Andy's shirt. Let's reveal our answers.
Fuck off.
For a third consecutive time, you have answered the same way with the same answer.
Of course, Canada has the largest lumber output.
We're probably wrong.
The
Just
correct
judging.
answer is Canada. You
Yeah.
both have 10 points.
I knew it.
That was the first time I was answering honestly, and of course, you're still copying me, Dave.
Well, Vance, let's check in with you. We've blasted through the Christmas tradition category. They answered the same way each time. Only one time was it correct. What are you thinking coming out of that category?
I'm thinking this is not what I had hoped for.
Well, okay, guys. Well, we've got to try to turn things around for whatever it is that
Hey.
Vance had hoped for. He's awfully disappointed right now.
Do you think the guy who illustrated this is the guy who did Ren and Stimpy?
It looks similar.
Could be a Crumb. Could be a Robert Crumb.
Well, maybe. Anyway, continue the show.
Well, let's move on to our next set of questions. The category is Christmas movies. Correct answers are worth 20 points. And now I don't know if this is going to help Andy, but he's changed his background on Zoom.
I just feel like one of us is one and the other is the other, and I'll let the audience decide.
I do want to check in the chat. Our production assistant, Devin, has notified audience members that he has smoked 12 cigs so far.
The 12 Cigs of Christmas.
12 cigs of Christmas here. And people in the chat seem to be worried about his smoking and cigarette intake. Let's move on to our next category. Correct
5
answers.
smoke rings.
20. Well, Dave, that impromptu breakout of song is worth no points.
Hey, Dave, what song would you have Trump cover? I want to get your take.
Frosty the Snowman.
Sick.
I don't have to do it, do I?
Yeah, I think you do.
Well, no,
James?
let's get to the first question in the movie category. Here it is, question number 1, worth 20 points. In 1990's Home Alone, which film does Uncle Frank disallow Kevin from watching? The possible answers are 1, Shake Hands with the Devil, 2, Angels with Filthy Souls, or 3, A Sinner's Holiday. 1, Shake Hands with the Devil, 2, Angels with Filthy Souls, 3, A Sinner's Holiday. Now, as you're thinking about this, Vance, do you know the answer?
I sure do.
You sure do. That's what I thought.
What is it, Vance?
I'm not going to tell you because then that would be cheating.
Vance.
All that money for myself.
But
I
if
think
you...
question though.
Okay, let me ask you this, Vance. If you were me, which one would you pick?
Oh, but I wouldn't be you.
Good answer.
That's a great answer.
James, can I have a clarification?
Sure.
You said which movie was Kevin not allowed to, like Kevin from Home Alone?
Yes, so in the movie, the family, in one of the first scenes, they're watching a movie together, and Uncle Frank will not let Kevin watch the movie because of its questionable content.
Who'd you think
But
it
he
was?
goes on to
Kevin
say that
Sorbo?
Kevin says he's just being a jerk.
Well,
And then Kate McAllister says if
I'm
Uncle
just getting
Frank won't let you
confirmation.
watch it, it must be pretty bad.
I'm just getting confirmation just in case this was a trick answer.
I think
Can we hear the
Andy's,
answer?
Andy might be looking up the answer online.
He might be looking up the answer. His eyes are okay. Andy, hands up. Again, your possible answers are 1, shake hands with the devil, 2, angels with filthy souls, or 3, a sinner's holiday. Lock in your answers now.
The only place my hands are either here above the screen or in my pants.
Well, I'm glad that they're above the screen. Let's reveal those answers.
Fuck off,
For
Dave.
the 4th consecutive time, you have both answered 1. Vance, will you let us know what the answer is? The answer is 2,
That's what I
angels
meant to
with
say.
filthy souls. You have lost a possible 20 points. Let's move on to the next question. In 1994's The Santa Claus, what is the name of the head elf at the North Pole? The possible answers are 1, Toby, 2, Bernard, or 3, Perry. Toby, Bernard, and Perry, which is the name of the head elf at the North Pole from 1994's The Santa Claus? Now, Vance, do you know this one?
I don't, but I would hope that I can stay.
You can stay.
Okay.
Well, you're both locked in. Let's see those answers right here, right now. You both answered Toby. The correct answer is 2, Bernard.
What is Bernard? I
is
thought it was either
Bernard.
Toby
Oh,
or
please.
Perry.
Once again,
This is Tim Allen's Santa Claus, correct?
this is correct.
Okay, I'd like to revote.
Now, Vance, which do you think you would have voted for, Vance?
Probably the correct one.
Bernard. I think you probably would have voted for the correct one too.
Yeah, I
This
would have.
is-
I would have as well.
This is the final question in our movie category. Let's hit it or quit it. In
Wait.
1989's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what gift does Clark Griswold hope to buy his family for Christmas? The possible answers are 1, a swimming pool, 2, a family trip, or 3, a big screen TV. Now, Vance, do you know the answer to this one?
I sure do.
So do I.
Oof.
Now wait, did you
Swimming
say
pool.
It was 1989's Family Vacation?
1989's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, swimming pool, family trip, or big screen TV. Lock in your answers now, and let's reveal those answers. For an unprecedented 6th consecutive time, you have answered the same way. Vance, what's the correct answer? Number 1 is the correct. The one time you veer away from number 1.
Can I ask one thing, James?
This guy's
Yep.
cheating.
Can I get a score check?
Yeah, well, the score check up to this point, if either of you had answered correctly, you would have had an accumulative 90 points. Out of a possible 90 points, you both have 10 each.
Okay, so it's
So that's
tight.
20 total points.
But
You know
look,
what-
this
you know
is
what,
the
Andy?
thing. It's very close. Vance,
Yeah,
let's check in. After 2 categories, how do you think these guys are faring, and how is this turning out based on your expectations?
Well, I do have some concerns because this is a truly pitiful performance from 2 people that I respect, and I've heard that symptoms of the illness that are going around is poor performance in quizzes. So just putting that out there. Make your own.
I'm going to put something else out there from the chat. Phil Smith 8 writes, quote, Vance is the real MVP here. So,
I've got a proposition for
okay.
Andy.
All right.
Oh,
Take the money off
are we
the
going to
table.
up the bet, Dave?
No. You know what? I'm tired of getting asked these impossible questions.
Yeah, I agree.
What if we team up?
Are you saying that we form a team?
I think we form an alliance.
And we pool our points together?
We pool our points, and we fight Vance.
So you're saying that
I
Vance
never considered this. But I am
How
kind
are
of
you?
getting
How are
I am
Andy and
kind
Dave
of
going to answer the same way?
We already do.
okay, how about this, James? And you can approve this, but I am kind of getting tired of Vance's attitude here. So if Vance answers the questions normally, but Dave and I answer the questions the same way, that's our answer. But if we answer it differently, it's the number we don't pick.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, Vance will answer normally. And we haven't even checked in with Vance yet. But in the case that, let's say, you and Dave both select 1, that is your answer. But in the case that you select, let's say, 2 and 3, then the answer you have to defer to is then 1.
Correct. We hope we both get it wrong.
Vance, what do you think about this? You've been challenged here.
I gotta say, I'm not one to turn down a challenge, but I'm not really interested in the amount of money that's being wagered. I say that I will only accept this if we raise the bet to $50,000.
Let me check
Dave,
my bank account.
Dave, yeah, can you come here for a second, Dave?
Yeah, sure.
Just a quick meetup.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well,
James, can I borrow $50,000?
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I'll wire it to you.
it's a
think
lot of
we can
money,
take it,
but
though.
we can win a lot of money too.
Yeah, and like the way the rules are set up, I mean, we've mostly been answering at the same time, and
We mostly have been getting it wrong.
Well, no, not mostly. You've been answering the same way each time. You've answered correctly 1 out of 6 times.
I think we should do it.
All
You've
right.
given yourselves almost an impossible path to victory based on your method of answering.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Vance has 0 points currently.
Vance is 0 points, but in the movie category, if he were participating, he would be beating both of you 40 to 10 to 10.
But that category is
Fair,
over.
but that category's
category
over. He
is
did
over.
not
The-
score those
The
points.
categories that are left are, now I wasn't going to reveal these, music, food, and Christmas specials.
I'm pretty good with food. I eat it every day.
Same.
And you're like a music master. I think we could take him.
I'm a virtuoso on the guitar.
Well, I think as they say, we've shaken things up here. Vance, are you ready to step into this ultimate Christmas trivia showdown? You've got $50,000 on this.
They called my bluff. I feel like I have hoisted myself on my own petard, as they say, in Quebec, and I'm in. Look, I'm in.
All right.
Again, I think that Andy and Dave have given themselves an absolutely impossible path to victory. They could have.
we
the
have a
correct
20-point
answer.
head start.
10 point. Oh no, we have 20 points combined.
20
You
points,
have
we combined
20
them.
Yeah, you have 20 accumulative.
We're
points here.
unstoppable.
We're unstoppable, baby.
I never, this is kind of like in the movie, like 2 countries that don't like each other, but then aliens
Yep.
invade, and this, like, is what brings them together.
Yeah, what
Well,
movie are you
then-
thinking of?
Then let's get
The
into
alien
this.
one.
Our next category is Christmas music, and these points are worth 50 points. So let's take it away. As of this year, what is the most covered Christmas song of all time? The possible answers are 1, White Christmas, 2, The Christmas Song, or 3, Silent Night. White Christmas,
Dave,
The Christmas
you
Song,
know which
or
one it is.
Silent Night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's reveal the answers.
Oh, yes. We're
Well,
unstoppable, James.
Unstoppable.
It's unbelievable the pace that you guys answer at for 7 questions in a row. Unfortunately, everyone is incorrect. The answer is Silent Night.
Well, that, of course, that song is like 3,000 years old.
We keep the
Let's-
lead.
Let's move on. It's true. Yeah, you guys are beating Vance 20 to nothing after a 6-question head start and a possible 90 points.
I mean, Vance is running out of runway, personally, I think.
Well, let's see how Vance does because my money's on him, but of course I'm not participating. Which Christmas song was the first to ever be broadcast on radio in 1906? The answers are 1, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, 2, O Holy Night, or 3, O Come All Ye Faithful. 1, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, 2, O Holy Night, or 3, O Come All Ye Faithful.
Dave, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I think so.
Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking?
Let's reveal the answers. This is
no.
unbelievable. You are all correct. You are all correct. The answer is Oh Holy Night. So we can now finally do a score check-in after, what is this, 8 questions. Andy and Dave now have 70 points, and after 2 questions, Vance has 50 points.
And Andy and I have chosen the same answer for 8
Yes.
questions in a row.
It's very impressive.
Can we go to Vance for an analysis?
Yeah, let's go. Vance, can we get your expert analysis here?
I'm very nervous.
Well, look, you're doing well despite only being 2 questions in. They had a 6-question head start.
If we
But
break
I
it down
don't
per
have the
question,
money.
you are leading.
$50,000 to. I don't have the money, so I don't know how I'm going to get the money. if I
Well,
lose.
I want to put a call out to the audience watching right now. Let's crowdsource for Vance in case he loses this. Otherwise, Andy and Dave, they'll pool together 25 grand each. Let's move on to the final Christmas music question. Which of these songs was condemned by the Roman Catholic Church? The possible answers are 1, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. 2, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Or 3, Santa Baby.
So
Which
all-
of these
all
was condemned
sexually
by the
charged.
Roman Catholic Church?
What was the first one?
Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, and Santa Baby.
Dave, you think what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
You guys thinking what I'm thinking?
Let's reveal those answers.
Oh no! We picked one!
Well, here's the thing. Dave, had you been playing alone, you would get 50 points right now. Andy, you've selected 3, which means that immediately means that Andy and Dave have selected Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
But that also means Vance is wrong too.
Vance is also wrong. The correct answer is I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Let's move on to our next category. This is Christmas specials, which is also worth 50 points. Once again, if you're just tuning in, this was originally supposed to be Andy versus Dave, which it was for 2 categories. They teamed up due to their abysmal performance to take on Vance, who was just here to talk about Christmas and provide analysis. Question number 1 in the Christmas special category. What is the name of the Grinch's dog? The possible answers are Max, Sam, and Rex. What is the name of the Grinch's dog?
You
Max,
think what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Sam, and Rex. Also, it's important to note that for the first time in all of these questions, previous question, you both, Andy and Dave, answered differently than each other. Let's see if that trend continues or we revert back. Let's see the answers now.
Oh.
You are all uniformly correct.
Can I just say that was the easiest question so far?
So far, yeah, I agree.
So far, that was the easiest question.
Nice
So
comment, Andy.
Thanks.
we're going to
Dave.
do a score
Good job.
check-in. Vance is now up to 100 points. Andy and Dave have an accumulative 120 points. Again, they had a 6-question head start. Let's move on to the next question. Who is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's father? The
What?
possible answers are 1, Comet, 2, Donner, or 3, Blitzen. Which of
Wait.
these?
According to who?
This is in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special. His father is one of the famous Santa reindeer.
Really?
Yes.
So I guess he has to ask who, like, which reindeer kind of like gets some, you know?
Yeah, who gets some? Is it Comet, Donner, or Blitzen?
They all get some, man.
Donner, Blitzen,
Vance
Comet?
is already locked in here.
Comet, Donner, Blitzen. Okay. Yeah.
Let's reveal those answers now. Again, Andy and Dave have answered the same way. Unfortunately, they have answered incorrectly.
Oh, no.
Vance, you are correct.
Oh, no.
Rudolph's father in the special is Donner, which brings Vance's total to 150. Once again,
Dave.
Andy and Dave had a 6-question head start.
Oh my God, the
Vance,
Donner.
let's go to you for some expert analysis.
The
here, now that you're
Donner.
also participating.
Donner is freaking horny.
I just feel like I'm being ganged up on, and I'm not getting along, and I hope that everything works out okay and we can be friends at the end.
Coming in from the
coming
chat.
in from the chat right now, high score run, quote, Vance is starting to sweat. And also coming in earlier, this was in relation to Santa Baby from, again, I can't pronounce his name, Brie Lemmy. Just, spell it out phonetically for me and I'll say it right. Says that song is totally pervy. We'll talk about that at the end of the night. Let's move on to our final Christmas special question. Again, worth 50 points. In a Charlie Brown Christmas, what is it that Lucy wants for Christmas? Is it money, a vacation, or real estate? Money, a vacation, or real estate? Which of these three does Lucy Van Pelt want for Christmas? Andy's already locked in. Dave,
you know this one. Come on, Dave. This one's easy.
Let's reveal our answers now.
What?
Vance has answered 4.
No. No. James, I got
Well,
penalized
here's the
once for
thing.
doing that.
You have all correctly answered. The answer is real estate. So this brings Vance's total to 200, and it brings Andy and Dave's total to 180. Yeah, that's correct.
We're 20 points behind?
An 80.
50 and hold on.
Must be in 70. Or it
Yes,
must be. We must be ahead.
170. I'm gonna have to write
say.
this down, otherwise I'm gonna forget now. So 30 points behind, and we've got one category left.
Dave, we got to start getting serious here because it's 50 grand on the line.
Yeah.
50 grand is on the line, and the final category is Christmas eating. And these questions are worth 100 points.
A lot of points.
God.
50 grand on the line. Vance, how you feeling over there?
Oh, I wish I had a background.
Coming in from Phil Smith right now says, quote, "This is the most riveting competition I've seen in months. Let's kick it into high gear with question number 1 of the Christmas eating category.
No.
Gingerbread houses can be traced back to which date and country? The possible answers are 1, 20th century America, 2, 18th century France, or 3, 16th century Germany. Gingerbread houses can be traced back to which date and country? 20th century America, 18th century France, or 16th century Germany? For 100 points,
Let's do this,
please
Dave.
reveal your answers now.
Woo! Bonjour.
So once again, Andy and Dave have answered the exact same way, but again, as is tradition, have answered incorrectly. Vance, you are correct for 100 points. The answer is 16th century Germany, which brings Vance's total to 300 points.
Well, yeah, we had a good run.
Look, you're still in this. You just have to answer correctly as Andy pours another drink.
Hey, Andy,
Vance, how
mind
you feeling
filling up
over
my
there?
mug?
Yeah, get over here,
Oh,
Dave.
I'm relieved.
Let's move on to our next question as Andy
Oh,
and
sorry. Did
Dave
you want some in that
continue-
bottle?
Continue to
Vance?
get lubricated. I'd like to point out that Vance has been drinking water all night long, which might be playing a factor. Vance, do you think it's played a factor?
I'm very hydrated. Yeah.
You know, someone in the chat, the name that cannot be pronounced, said
Yep.
with Hansel and Gretel, and as soon as they wrote that, I knew my answer was wrong.
Yeah, we forgot about Hansel and Gretel.
Well, they also mentioned it's nail biting. Dave, you're teching tonight's episode. Can you please remove the cursor from my face on our channel, please?
Dave, can you put it back?
Let's move on to our next question.
Nice.
Which country opts to leave cold beer out for Santa as opposed to milk? The possible answers are
As opposed to milk.
Australia, Austria, or the Netherlands. Which country opts to leave cold beer out for Santa as opposed to milk?
What's the deal?
Australia, Austria, and the Netherlands.
We got this, Andy. We got this.
Oi, mate. Shall we leave some milk now? Leave the milk. Leave the milk now. Okay, I think I'm ready.
And Vance, we wait for you to lock in. Vance is locked in. Let's reveal the answers.
Let's go.
This is
go,
unbelievable,
baby.
the rate
Let's go,
that you guys
baby.
answer the same way at.
Come on.
Unfortunately, you are all incorrect.
No.
The answer
Australia?
is Australia. So, this means that Vance has won. There's one question left worth 100 points that would only bring Andy and Dave to an accumulative 270 points.
Check
Vance,
again,
let's check
though.
in with you.
Check if that question's really worth that, or if it's not worth 200 points.
Well,
So we
James,
can't win.
I feel like, I'm a proud competitor, but friendship matters most. So I'm wondering if we could pool our points together, the three of us, and maybe we can just end with a collective point system.
All right, so Vance is
I don't hate
offering to
that
pool
idea.
the points together that would bring all of you to an accumulative 470 points.
Yeah.
Dave, you want to? Can you come here for a second, Dave?
Yeah. I think we should refuse the deal.
Yeah, me too. I feel like that's a bad deal.
It's a bad deal.
Because what are we gonna do with all those points?
Yeah, I don't know.
James, you're doing a really good job.
Oh, thanks, Vance. I appreciate that. And so are you, buddy.
Okay, are we sure about that decision? Dave?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think so.
Well, I think
We're back.
I think it's only fair. Let's ask the final question. Just for what they say is the spits and giggles here. Which sauce is traditionally served with Christmas pudding? Is it 1, cranberry sauce, 2, brandy sauce, or 3, an egg cream sauce?
It's not cocktail
Dave,
sauce?
Dave, can you come here for a second?
Yep.
We should probably take the deal.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
Yeah, you
Hold
want
on.
to take the deal?
I've been told that Devin, who's our production assistant, says, quote, "It's too late," and then he started coughing up, which I assume is from all of his cigarette smoking.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
maybe he meant it's too late for me.
So we're gonna have to answer this the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Again, which of these sauces is traditionally served with Christmas pudding? Is it cranberry sauce, brandy sauce, or egg cream sauce?
I totally blanked on the first two answers. Say that one more time, James.
We've got cranberry sauce, brandy sauce, and an egg cream sauce.
Christmas.
Well, I like one of those sauces more than the others.
I know.
You know,
Dave, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking what you're thinking.
everyone is locked in. Let's reveal the answers. Everyone has answered number 2. That is the correct answer, which brings, again, Dave and Andy's accumulative total to 270 points, bringing
Yes!
Vance's total to 400 points. It's the outcome that no one expected. He wasn't supposed to be part of this episode. Vance, you have won the Christmas Trivia Showdown, having only jumped into the contest 6 questions in. Let's also state for the record, had you been part of it earlier, your grand total would have been 440 points because off the record, you got 2 of the movie questions
It's
correct.
the most points we've ever gotten in a competition.
Vance, let's go to you, the proud recipient of $50,000.
I guess I'm the Prince of Christmas now, huh?
Vance is officially the original POC. Vance, how does it feel?
Good. I'm a good guy, I guess.
Dave, let's go to you. You were originally competing against Andy. What happened tonight?
I might have lost the competition, but I made a friend, which I think is the real Christmas, is the friends you made along the way.
Andy, let's go to you. You look completely sloshed.
They talk a lot about records that are broken in the sport, and even though we didn't win the game, even though we lost $50,000, me and Dave did set a new record here, which is the most questions to be answered the same way.
Yeah, that was very impressive.
Right
shocking.
or wrong,
But I think Vance also said that it was pitiful.
Okay. Well, that's what a
I
rich
take
man
that
would
back.
say.
Sorry.
What's that, Vance?
Vance?
Sorry, guys.
So maybe he could pay for a better internet connection soon. But
Well, yeah, I think you're going to be paying for a better internet connection.
I want to throw this out there, James, if I can, because this was supposed to be the final showdown between me and Dave.
Yep.
This is 3 episodes coming.
Yep.
And instead we had to team up to defeat a new
To save the galaxy.
to save from an invading threat. So I actually want to throw out a challenge to Vance.
All right.
Easter. What are you doing, Vance? Let's go. Round 2.
Yeah, bring it on, Vance.
No, sorry. Valentine's Day is next. Valentine's Day Showdown. Do you accept?
All right, you heard it here first. The verbal contract has been signed. It is going to be this. If we track the origin, this was supposed to be the rubber match between Andy and Dave. We are now excited to announce the rematch between Andy and Dave versus Vance. It's the Valentine's Day Trivia Showdown coming in about, roughly 40 days or so right here live on Twitch. Vance, how does it feel to know that you've been roped into this?
Good, but I don't have any money, so I don't know. I don't know how that's going to affect things.
Well, you do now.
Yeah,
you do now.
Let's set those terms, Vance. I think we should wager $25 on the next match.
Each.
Well, we're gonna have our lawyers. Devin's gonna cross the T's and dot the I's on this contract. But again, guys, I mentioned that there was a secret incentive at the beginning of tonight's episode.
Oh, yeah.
Now, things did not turn out the way that I thought they would. Vance, you're involved now, so unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess I should say, this implicates you because it's the holiday season. The loser, and in this case, it's going to be the losers of tonight's episode, must kiss the winner's ass with mistletoe hanging over. So Andy and Dave, you now both need at some point in the next 365 days to kiss Vance's naked ass.
You added that stipulation after the competition.
It was at the beginning.
Are we going to do one?
Revealed.
So we get one for each cheek?
Yes, with mistletoe. If
All
there's
right.
no mistletoe, it doesn't count.
Whatever.
So this is originally supposed to be between me and Dave. You wanted to see me or Dave kiss the other's
Well, I never
ass.
said I wanted to see it.
But
Well, you set the prize.
Yes. Well,
Could've
yeah,
been
it is a
anything.
prize. Yeah,
And you
Vance, how
chose
does it
this.
feel? How does it feel to know you've won the prize?
Oh, that's pretty sick. That's pretty good.
Vance,
Gold points, guys. You had a chance.
are you
Go for it.
excited for this to happen?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I'm not gonna
coming in
bet.
from the chat right now, we've got the real Andrew Mackay. He writes, "What a time to join!" LOL. So he only came in after the contest. He found out he missed all the good stuff. Coming in
The
from the chat
riveting
from our new favorite chatter tonight, Brelly Me. Just write it for us. Quote, "Holiday ass kissing. Yes, the true holiday treat."
Might be right.
You might be right on that one. And you
What
know
an
what?
episode it's been tonight, Vance. Earlier on today, you said to me, I don't even have to come on if you're doing the trivia showdown. I insisted that you come on. Not only did we have a great conversation, you ended up winning this whole thing. What a Christmas miracle.
Yeah, things are turning around for old Vance, old Mr. Gillis.
Any final thoughts, Dave and Andy?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good
And
time.
that's what the holidays are about. It's coming together. Sometimes we bicker, we go back and forth, but it's important to be together around the holiday season. And this is the thing. We're going to be back together right here on Twitch this coming Friday for the Rockin' Talkin' Christmas Eve edition of At Home, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Andy, you're going to be here. Marilyn T is also going to be here. She's going to be bringing me this, I don't know what it is. I forget the name. It's some cream cheese covered sandwich. I'm going to be eating it live on the air. We're going to be doing a taste test. It's a Quebecois delicacy. We're going to be talking about Quebecois Christmas. Maybe we're going to be doing Le Réveillon together. But a bunch of guests are going to be here on Christmas Eve. Andy, how do you feel about that?
I mean, this is the first I hear about a cream cheese sandwich. which I don't know how I feel about that yet.
Well,
Probably have
we're
a little
gonna
too
we're gonna
much
find
alcohol
out.
in my system to eat that much cream cheese.
We're gonna find out on Friday. Dave, you gonna be here for Christmas Eve?
Maybe.
Vance, you gonna be here on Christmas Eve?
Oh yeah.
Well, I want to thank, of course, Vance and Andy and Dave for being here. I want to thank myself for spending over an hour painstakingly writing these questions with some help from Devin, who is he's already logged off of our call, so I don't know what Devin's doing. Of course, I want to thank everyone watching tonight, making the chat as lively as possible. I mentioned off the top, when COVID case numbers go up, so does viewership. So, of course, we have to thank COVID-19 for being our Christmas creeper this holiday season. Thanks again for being here. We'll see you on Friday for the Rockin' Talkin' Christmas Eve. Until then, I'm James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, and of course, be well.